Shame the devil. I love being black. All right, people. Early this morning, the weather is changing, and man, I tell you, it's a lot going on. We finna have some cold weather. Actually, it's cold now, and you know we have a homeless problem here in the city of Chicago, and we know who's being housed, and we know who's not being housed. So come on in. We're going to talk real briefly, and we're going to share some information. I appreciate those of you that's follow me on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. Come on in. This is live, uncut, unedited. This is where we tell the truth and what? And shame the devil. That's what we do. Come on in, people. Come on in. Come on in. We got migrants being housed, and our people are riding the trains all night long in buses, CTA buses, CTA trains. And I want to challenge the mayor in these next 2 or 3 days. What are you going to do? Are you going to leave these homeless people riding on these trains? Are you going to leave them on these trains or what? This is real talk. It's live uncut. Now, I'm hearing that you got a lot of migrants staying in a hotel in O'Hare, the Hilton, on the 6th and the 7th floor, and you're feeding them breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the banquet hall, and they nice and warm, and our people out here freezing. And some of these little social service agencies coming up, giving them crackers and cookies and hot coffee and hot tea. Now you got millions of dollars allocated toward the migrants, the illegals, whatever you want to call them. And our people are riding the train all night long. Ain't that terrible? What are we going to do about the homeless here in the city of Chicago? You got folks that never paid one tax in this country, don't have no skin in the game in this country, but they're getting the royal treatment. They're getting the red carpet treatment. And look at our folks riding on a train, sleeping in tents. Come on now, people. Brandon Johnson is finna be below zero in the next couple of days. What are you going to do about it? Our people over there right off Des Plaines and Roosevelt, no heat warmers, no propane and nothing. But you make sure you're in the Democratic Party, you'll make sure that the migrants are well taken care of. But our people, we got to wait. We got to wait. Now, I guarantee you, if we find one of them homeless people that's frozen to death, dead in one of them tents, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem, people. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Now, I know your loyalty is not to the black race. Well, you said, well, Martin, I'm the mayor of all people. Well, I can't tell because black people are being looked over. And I'll tell you this, not just black people, the homeless population. So the homeless population consists of all races, young and old. And they're being left behind. You got all these homeless people that's riding the train just to stay warm. Just to stay warm. Here you got a people that can't even speak the language. You housing them in O'Hare, Hilton. They stand on the 6th and the 7th floor. And you feed them breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the banquet hall. They go into their nice room, clean room, nice television. Everything is nice and warm and cozy for them, laid out. They got the red carpet treatment. And our folks freezing. Worried about if they're going to get put off the train or not. They're worried about if they can stay warm enough to survive, to live. It's going to be a problem. And I guarantee you, people, they're going to try to cover it up. If you find a homeless person froze to death, they're going to try to cover it up. They're going to cover it up. I'm telling you, people, this live, uncut, unedited. This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. We don't care about what people think, what they say. Brandon Johnson, what are you going to do with the homeless population here in the city of Chicago? They're sleeping in tents. That's riding the trains back and forth. We haven't even got to the people that's in eviction court. No room in the shelters. All the shelters is just about full. Can't get in there. What are you going to do? I'm not going to just make this out of no black thing. I'm going to make this out of a homeless thing for all people. I'm speaking for all the homeless here in the city of Chicago that have no place to go, that's sleeping outside in these cold tents. Y'all giving non-for-profit organizations money, and some of them are not even doing a good job taking care of the homeless people. But you can take the migrants and roll out the red carpet, put them in the Hilton, in O'Hare, and give them 3 meals a day in the banquet hall. For those that don't know, he housing migrants on the 6th and the 7th floor in the Hilton in O'Hare. And they're eating in a banquet hall. They warm, nice and cozy. They can take a hot shower. They got hot meals. They got TVs. They're not missing nothing. But our American citizens and our veterans are riding on the trains, wondering where their next meal gonna come from. And some of the shelters are full. Full. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. The immigrants can stay in their own country. See, y'all want us to be quiet. See, I'm not talking about a black thing right now. I'm talking about the homeless thing right now. This is talking about the homeless people. The homeless consists of all races. Young people are homeless, riding the train, committing crime. What do you expect a man to do if he's hungry and homeless? What do you expect? You're overworking the CTA workers. They got to deal with the homeless population. And we cannot tell the homeless people they can't get on the train. That wouldn't be the right thing to do. And we know some of them don't have the best hygiene. But the train system, the CTA Transit Authority, is a public. It's for the public. But not only is a ride for some, but it's the home for some to stay warm. They ride from the south side all the way to the O'Hare or to the north side. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. So Brandon Johnson, if you're listening to me, and you're supposed to be a religious man, Church of God in Christ, a preacher, what are you going to do in the next couple of days, starting today? Because you know it's going to be a problem once we find one of them homeless people dead and frozen. You know it's going to be a problem. So I'm warning you. Warning comes before destruction. Don't let it happen. Get your workers out there, your crisis workers out there, crisis intervention workers out there to do something. You're going to have to do something. You're going to have to do something. Period. This ain't about no politics. This is about homeless people. When you have done it to the least of these, you have done it unto me. That's what God said. We don't make mockery of the homeless people. But my Bible tells me that charity begins at home. I'm quite sure we're reading the same Bible. What are we going to do about this homeless, crisis situation here in the city of Chicago? It's finna be below zero in the next couple of days. Come on now, somebody talk to me. The weather's finna take a dip, and we got to prepare. Now, if you've asked people to take migrants in their house, but we have no compassion for the homeless population right here in the city of Chicago. Well, you say, well, Martin, well, some of them have mental illness. Yes. You said that you was going to open up mental illness clinics. Because they have mental illness, that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be housed, period. That's a God-given right that every man and every woman should be housed, no matter what their income status is, period. Brandon Johnson, your blood is going to be required at their hands. If you don't do nothing about this situation, every homeless person that's found frozen to death, living outside America, the blood is going to be required at your hand. I'm telling you, this is real. How could you sleep how could you sleep at nighttime not knowing that you didn't help the people that's here? Couldn't it have been easy? You just got a bus and sent them back from where they came from in a warm climate? Or is it the money? The Bible said the love of money is the very root of evil, all evil. Also, it said money is a defense to all things. See, I'm wondering, people, any politician that's listening to me right now, ask yourself a question. Whether you black or white, whatever your ethnicity is, or race, or nationality, whatever you want to call yourself, what would you be thought of in the history books? When they say your name as a politician, what would they say? He did everything, or she did everything that she could. He served, or she served his community. He went over, or she went over and above what she could do. Brandon Johnson, to all the politicians, y'all blood is going to be required. If someone fall dead and be frozen to death, and you guys didn't reach out, God going to hold it to y'all account. Going to hold it. This is a warning from a little young man from the south side of Chicago telling you. Warning becomes before destruction. It is not going to go well for our politicians here in the city of Chicago. And I understand that you got some crisis going on, but you got to work it. You got to work it. Not just for one group of people, for all people, at least. This is real talk. Now, it's going to get cold in the next 3 or 4 days, people. Next 2 days, 2 or 3 days. Below zero. And folks are outside sleeping in tents, people. Somebody may not wake up the next day. Why? Because they frozen to death. Or they might have to get their limbs cut off because of frostbitten. This real, people. I'm not making this up. Somebody got to speak for the voiceless. Who's going to wake up the sleeping giant? Somebody got to speak up for them. They have no voice. Somebody got to speak up for the homeless population here in the city of Chicago. Somebody got to speak up for them. We can't continue to keep overlooking them and throwing them crumbs. And we giving foreigners meals, hot meals. Something got to give, people. This is real talk. I think I see a caller. 6970. I don't know who you are. Who are you, caller?
Hey, partner. How's it
Hey,
going?
that's my partner. Hey, partner. Go ahead, partner. Go ahead. You want to say something?
Hey, you know, I'm not into the politics.
No.
I
Hold
don't
on, partner. This ain't about
keep a,
politics. This is about homeless people. This is what we talking about. We don't care about, I don't care about no
no,
Democrat or Republican. I just want to let you know we talking about human beings that need to be served, that need to be in warming centers these next couple of days. Real talk. So it's not no politics, sister.
yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm with you. I'm with you, hands down. The only thing I was opening up and saying is that I know that I don't keep up with all of the politics and all of that stuff that's going on. You know, I don't know that part. But the reason I called is because you're absolutely right. We are in position as a people to help folks that need help. And it is such a shame that people from another country had to come here for our eyes to open up and say, wait a minute, let's start helping the people in our own backyard. How are we going to walk over the homeless man to take care of somebody that's homeless that just came here? It should be a beckoning order. It should be some type of, let's start with the people that's been needing the help. We're going to reach over the man or the woman that's been holding their hand up forever saying, help me. To help, it's like, what do we do that at? So again, I'm sympathetic for anybody that's homeless right now, because we will lose lives. And I have to commend you for always filling in the gap and using your platform, using your voice, and also leading with your heart. Because it's one thing to lead with your pocket, because a lot of people do lead with their pockets. They got a hidden agenda. But you lead with your heart to help people. And I had to come on here and commend you. And I also wanted to come on to tell some more folks, look in the mirror and see what it is you could do to help somebody, because it's going to be cold and people need help. I'm hoping that the churches open back up again. I'm hoping that, there are people that will pay for a hotel stay or whatever they can do to help these people. Or maybe some of these houses that people are not living in. Whatever we can do, somebody can do something. So I just wanted to come on and give you some flowers and to say that I agree. Something has to be done.
Something has to be done, partner, because, and I'm going to tell you, somebody's going to die the next couple of days if we don't do nothing. Somebody's going to be frozen, and they already got the scanner encrypted. You can't hear nothing in real time. They're waiting to 20 and 30 minutes later, and they still can edit that. So that's another form of showing that they're not trying to be transparent with the public. They're trying to control the narrative, people. And I'm going to tell people, don't make this homeless thing a black and white issue or a Democrat and Republican issue. It's not. People are human beings. They deserve the right to eat and a place to live. Period. Should nobody have to live outside under a viaduct or in a tent with all this money being passed around to people not even citizens here? We have spent over $1 billion on foreigners that are not citizens here in the United States, to give them a start here. And all I'm asking, those that are in leaderships, do the right thing, or your blood's going to be required. God got you. You're going to have bloody hands. You're not going to be able to live with yourself. You're not going to go down in history well. Your name is going to be tainted. It's going to be mud. if somebody died next couple of days and know you had the power to do something. Just a stroke of a pen. That's all you got to do. Just a stroke of a pen and write a policy in. But you won't do it because you're afraid of the party that you represent. Now, we're not talking about white and black. We're talking about human beings, homeless people, girls and boys, men and women. It's not right, people. And as long as I got breath in my body, I'm going to speak up for the homeless population. And I know they don't have a voice. I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell it. I can't help it. Somebody got to tell it. People, let us wake up. Let us do what we can. Like my partner Vera Giles Norris said, do what you can. If you can buy them some coffee, if you can house them, if you can put them in a hotel room for a couple of days, do what you can, people. Because God said, when you have done it unto one of these, you have done it unto me. That old biblical principle in the Bible, the person asked Jesus a question, when did you come unto me? Jesus said, when I was homeless, you gave me a house. When I was hungry, you fed me. When I was in prison, you visited me. Let us not forget the people that's so down and out. And I'm going to tell you, it's some of us right now, we living in a nice apartment, a house, but with no heat and no hot water. But thank God we got electricity. We can plug up the heat. We can boil some water. Thank God. And you know, if it get cold in the house, imagine how it feel in a tent with no heat and no real walls. People, this is real. So I challenge the mayor, Brandon Johnson. What are you going to do in these next couple of days? Are you going to send your crisis intervention people out there to help these homeless people riding on these trains, these people sleeping in the tent? You took $90-some million out of a COVID fund to take care of the migrants. And that money is specific for the migrants. It's not for the homeless people here in the city of Chicago, homeless men and women and veterans. It's not. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You a God-fearing man, you said. You say you're a preacher. You say you're from the Church of God in Christ. How dwelleth the love of God in you? You know the scripture. You're an ordained minister, preacher. Do what's right. And if you don't, you're going to go down in history with a bad name. Your legacy is going to be tainted. Trust me. Warning comes before destruction. And I rest my case, partner. Anything you want to say before I get off here, partner?
No, the only thing that I can say is that everybody is not led to just open your door and let people in. So before you, people that's listening, because I know you got a powerful voice, Martin G. Johnson, and I just want to say that everybody, you know, it may not be for you to open your door and let somebody in, but for those that it is, God has put it on your heart to do that, follow the instructions. But for other people, it may simply be you, your voice. Just like Martin is using his now. Martin is waking and opening up doors right now for homeless people just from his platform. It may be somebody that can go to your church and say, hey, pastor, you know, can we open up the church doors? I'm willing to bring some cake. I'm willing to bring some spaghetti. So-and-so going to bring some water. Can we open up the doors and house a few people? It may be somebody else that knows someone that have a vacant building or vacant a house, and it may be you asking, can we utilize this to help some people? So again, do what you can do. Okay. Some of y'all may be able to put $10, $20 together and pay for a hotel room. So I just wanted to say that everybody can do something. It's not necessarily what you do, it's how you do it.
And I want to address something to Nathan Hampton. First of all, let me say, let's read this. Let me read this. The migrants is our brother and sister under God. Okay. I might let you get back with that one. They are trying to get a better life in America. First of all, we are American citizens. They are not American citizens. All right. You can't compare, can't blame them. We're not blaming the migrants. We're blaming our leaders that's funding the migrants and not looking over the people that's born and raised here. How would it be if I'm a man and I meet a young lady with 3 children? I'm taking care of her children, helping her take care of children, and I got 3 other children by another woman, and I don't do nothing for them. Now, is that right? Now, tell me, is that right? Now, first of all, let me tell you something. You said our people did the same thing when they left the South to the North for a better life. First of all, not one black person left this country to go to another country for a better life. Not at all. So you can't compare that to our struggle. That's a lie. Open up your eyes. You can't compare that to our struggle at all. We have endured slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, and still right now today oppression. And we still not being treated fairly in this country. You know that. Who do you think this country owes? The migrants, the non-citizens, or the citizens? Who do you think the country owes something to? That we have put our blood and sweat in this country. We have fought in every war. We have brought inventions to this country that is still being used right now today. Period. You cannot compare their struggle with our struggle. You can't do it. We are Americans. That's what we are. No other country in the world gonna allow another foreigner to come in their country and get top flight benefits before theirs. How dwells the love of God in you? Since you want to put God in it. Charity begins at home first. I'm a man that got 3 children by a woman, but I'm dating a woman that got 4 children, and I'm helping taking care of all hers, and I ain't doing nothing for mine. How that sound? How dwells the love of God in me? That's crazy. So Nathan Hampton, you're wrong. I suggest that you think this thing over clearly. All right? All right. I love being black. Period. Period. All right, I had to say that. I had to get that clear, people, because I don't like people coming on here trying to justify that. See, they trying to cool their conscience because you know you're doing wrong by your people. Some of y'all on here hate your people. You hate your own people. You hate your own people. These people coming on here trying to justify that. You can't justify that. You got folks right here been paying taxes all their life. And I'm not against no migrant. Listen, I love human beings. But listen, I'm for my own first. I'm for American citizens first, period. No matter if you white, black, Hispanic, whatever you are, American citizens are first in this country, period. So don't bring me that. We're not blaming no migrants. We're blaming the politicians that's forgetting what they're here supposed to do. So don't let nobody come here with that foolishness. And I told you, this is not a white and black issue. Period. This is not a Democrat and Republican issue. So don't get over here trying to make it a black and white thing. This is a human thing. So all people are homeless in this city, in Chicago. You go down there, Tent City, you see all types of races down there. Period. I ain't blaming no migrants. Start at home. You can't take care of nobody else's children and you ain't taking care of your own. That's right. You can't tell me, and you can look at it. Anybody got any sense, you can look at that the homeless population in Chicago is being done wrong, mistreated. How are you going to roll out the red carpet for some non-citizens and overlook the citizens here? Got to take care of home first. All right, people, y'all know. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black. I love being black. I love being black.